Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. An abundance consciousness is key. An abundance consciousness is key. And usually something like this usually would go on my deep thought channel, but this is talking about money. This is talking about money because you got to have a certain consciousness around money. You really do. And everybody does because if you really want to talk about money, money is a consciousness. Money is a consciousness because what is it about? Money is really resources to get the things you want in life. I mean, and it's not always about a dollar bill or something. Bartering, you can get the resources. If you have something like say you have a house or something. You have a house with a nice acre of land or a couple acres and you put a garden on. Let's say you had a couple acres and you put a garden on one of those acres, right? And of course you might have a job or something like that bringing in money, but a lot of stuff you get is from like that acre of land you growing that food. You might not necessarily sell that food. You might use it. You might use it, get maybe work done around your house, services or something by trading the food with somebody. See, bartering is a system too. And see, that's the mindset. Even the type of money, in Africa, parts of Africa, cowrie shells were used as money. It depends. It's a mindset. And then it's an energy. It's an energy on how you spend the money, how you bring the money in. In fact, that's the key to really making money. It's an energy, it's a consciousness, right? Now, but before I don't want to get too deep into that because a lot of people are like, Rama, we just want to know how to manage our money or even make it. Okay, fine. But you still got to have a consciousness to make that money before you even get out there, regardless of where you live on the planet, whether you bartering or however it is to get resources, you got to have a consciousness. It's important to have an abundance consciousness. You have to feel that there's always money to be made out there. You always have to feel there's money to be made. This is very key. This is very key because a lot of times what hurts people in even making money is a poverty consciousness. What's a poverty consciousness? You thinking like you're poor. A poverty consciousness is you don't have money. A poverty consciousness calls you to spend money as soon as you get it. And then you're always in a state of poverty. You're always in a state of lack. Even if you making money, you can make a lot of money. Someone can make a lot of money and still because of their consciousness, don't spend it well. Or here's actually the best example. Often when someone wins a lottery, they come from a poverty consciousness. So they don't have that thing. So they don't have the consciousness on how to manage that money or what to do with it. They get it and spend it. See, one thing with people with the poverty consciousness, they spend money as soon as they get it. Money, it's very rare that they even have a savings. They might not even think it. It's those people, as soon as they get paid, they spend a bunch of money on payday or over a bunch of wants. Remember my last podcast, I talked about wants. That's a poverty thing. They spend it. They don't save it. They don't have any discipline with that money, And then that's part of it, but also a part of it is they don't think they can make money. And so what happens consciousness-wise, they get used to, they operate from a state of lack. They think they're going to be poor, And I'm going to tell you what, here's the thing. If you have that poverty consciousness, it's hard for you to get a good job. It's hard for you because when you go into the interviews, even though the interviewer might not be conscious of it, they can feel your energy. They can feel that poverty thing. They can feel you're not going to work hard for money or anything. They can feel you're not going to do it. Because you think, oh, I ain't money out here and stuff. So you ain't going to go extra. You just going to exist. It hurts you. Now, contrast that with the abundance consciousness. Now, say a person goes into a job, right, with an abundance consciousness, even if the starting pay is minimum wage. A person with an abundance consciousness always makes money. Always think there's money to be made because they realize there is money to be made. There's a ton of money out here. Because first of all, money it's a mindset, it's an energy, it's a flow, and that energy is all the way around us. You know, in fact, if it, this it to understand how much of an energy it is. Think about something. When someone gives you a loan, they making money out of thin air. They giving you money out of thin air. Or when someone increases your credit limit, that's money out of thin air. You know, there's no hard money in most places. In fact, yeah, there's no hard money. In fact, if you think about how money is on our, in our banks and stuff, really, if you say you got 50,000 in savings, that's not an actual hard 50,000. Those are numbers on a computer screen. That's why in some times people worry about a run on the banks because the banks don't carry as enough. They don't really carry as much money as they got people who got accounts. But that's an energy thing. So let's bring that back around to the consciousness. If your consciousness is there's an abundance of money, there's plenty of money, you always come forward because what that does, it changes you on the inside to become a person who can go get that money. That's the key. If you had that mindset, you can make money, you can always make it, you know? And that's the important whether you being in you just have a regular job or if you have a business. Let me speak from a businessman perspective, from my own perspective. I'm a businessman, you know, and I don't have any guarantee how much I'm going to make next week or next month. But because I have a certain consciousness, I'm not worried about it because I'm always looking for it, you know? Indeed, let me go back to the example of someone going for a part-time job. No, a full-time job, but for whatever reason, they got to start at minimum wage. Because they have an abundance consciousness, that same person who starts out on a job at a minimum wage thing might be the manager in 3 years. Because what happens is because they have the abundance consciousness, subconsciously they're always going to do stuff to bring in that money. They know it's there, so subconsciously they're going to work to bring in that money. Very key to understand. Subconsciously they're going to work for it, and they're going to bring it. Like I know, woman I know, she's a manager of a grocery store, and she just got moved. But I saw something about her. She's only been working. She started out as a cashier. Now she's on her way to corporate now, but she had the right mindset. Because once you have a mindset of abundance, you will always move up on jobs. You will always find a way to make money. You will always see the possibilities. When you have a poverty mindset, you don't see the possibilities. You don't see what you can do. You're not going to do the thing. So a key before you even, whether it's just a regular job, whether it's a business, you got to have a key like there's plenty of money out there. Even with everything going on now, there's still plenty of money out there. Indeed, that's why you got some people, they seen everything happening and they rubbing their hands together. They getting excited, giddy about it because it's like, look, there's plenty of money to be made. Indeed, through everything, there's a lot of people who've made money. A lot of people losing money, but a lot of people made money. So, but the key is their consciousness, okay? So have that consciousness. There's plenty of money to be made. There's plenty of money. So that's all I have for now. I want y'all to really think about that. And, when we're talking about money, you got to have that don't have the poverty consciousness. Have the abundance consciousness. So that's all I have for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.
Mm.